here March 13th, 2023. Top three mushers right now running the race are all half white, half native. And I remarked about it yesterday. That's a nice thing, a good thing, a positive thing. But the other hand of it, it sort of looks like in light of Hugh Neff being kind of banned and not being allowed to race this year, it feels almost like maybe there's a reverse discrimination thing, unspoken going on with the ecosystem of businesses that support this race, the sponsors, and are these guys part of the reason they're successful in doing it, not just because they grew up with it and they're passionate about it, they've tons of experience, they put the time in, but part of the reason that they're positioned to be able to specialize and put the time in it is because those businesses and the trail committee and the trail committee staff themselves support these mushers and this type of musher, aka born in Alaska, native or part native type musher, to continue on the spirit and the legacy of mushing. And obviously these are not guys who are living I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it's something. It's like in Alaska, if you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of native corporations that only hire natives. They specifically work with the native groups, and they're for-profit companies. Some of them have, like Andy Tuber was one who just died in helicopter crashes. He was getting, basically smeared in the press by the Anchorage Daily News because he had a relationship with a staff member or something like that. But these native corporations, the CEOs and stuff, are getting like up to $1 million to $5 million salaries. There's a lot of corruption, and they have tons of money. But a lot of times, that money that reaches the top people doesn't actually get down to the working people or the people out there in the villages in terms of when they get those big. Does that make sense? Research it if you don't understand what I'm talking about. But the point is, like, when we see Ryan, when we see Richie, and we Pete, obviously they grew up mushing. They seem like all good guys. We're not taking away from their accomplishment, the experience, and what they're doing out there, thugs. But is it because of that ecosystem of businesses, sponsors supports them, like how the native corporations support the natives in Alaska, versus supporting or the tourist business even. They don't want to hire someone who's not Ryan's dad and mom work with Mark Nordman every day there at the headquarters. No one's gonna if Hugh can't run the race, but Ryan can, is it because of what is, what I mean? What are we doing? Is it political and arbitrary? It's questionable, I think.